Hi there, Josh Blumenthal here for another episode of Instigator of Change. I'm a big fan of the second Matrix movie, Matrix Reloaded. Now you may or may not enjoy the film, or you may not have even seen it, but there is a particular character in the film that I've always been drawn to. And that character is the Merovingian. And when the Merovingian is introduced in the film, he begins by talking about the idea of causality being the only real truth. Action and reaction, cause and effect. Now another main character in the film at that point tries to deny this fact by saying that everything begins with choice. The Merovingian then comments with a line that I've always been drawn to. And that line is that choice is an illusion created between those with power and those without. It reminds me very much about a time back in 2005 when I was preparing to move to the Northeast. I was getting rid of a lot of my belongings because I was going to be driving across the country. And what I did was I did a yard sale, a 3-day yard sale, and on the very first day I put out all of my belongings. And the prices were, I'd say, a little bit on the high side actually, but it's the first day of a yard sale, you want to see how you're going to do. And I did fairly well. On the second day I lowered the prices because we're moving closer to the end of the yard sale and I wanted to sell more. And I'd say I probably did just about the same, but I think a lot of it had to do with that there was less of a selection. On the third day I decided I'm going to try something unique. I'm going to let customers name their own prices. Now obviously I was only going to accept something reasonable. If I had a $200 stereo and somebody said I'll give you $1, I'm not going to take it, but I probably would have accepted $20 or $30. Now I would have thought that I would have sold a lot of items on that day, but I sold next to nothing. And I attribute that to the fact that people were afraid of naming a price that was too low, that they would offend me, or naming a price too high, that I would have sold the item to them for less money. People were so concerned about the choice in front of them, because it was a very open choice. And think about that. In life, we have choices all over the place. And when you think about it, particularly in Western society, we have so many choices. You go into a coffee shop, and there's 15 different types of coffee. You go into a clothing store, and there's 10 different types of jeans. How do you decide what to do? And of course, when we go into these situations, and we're trying to determine what's best for us, we make a choice, and sometimes it goes well, and sometimes it doesn't go well. And a lot of times when it doesn't go well, we don't blame the item, we don't blame the situation, we blame ourselves. Because we should have chosen better. Because if there's so many options, we assume that that perfect choice is out there. That perfect choice for us has got to be out there. And who made that bad choice? We did. So that's the problem with having so many choices. But the bigger problem is that there really is no perfect choice out there. When it comes to choice, if we have less choices, if it's this or that, it becomes easier for us. This is why so many of us have commitment issues. Or am I choosing the right person for me? Is there someone else better out there? Is this what's best for me? But the truth is that there really is only one choice you need to make in life. And that choice is the type of person you want to be. By determining the type of person you want to be, whether you want to be an honest person, whether you want to be a generous person, what type of person do you want to be when you encounter situations, you don't have to make a choice because you've already made the choice. By determining who you are first, every other choice flows from that one choice. If you decide you want to be a generous person and you encounter a situation where generosity is a factor, you don't have to think about the situation. You've already made the choice. And that choice doesn't represent you. You represent that choice. The idea of choice being an illusion, it absolutely is. We tend to look at situations and events and all the choices out there as that's what's in front of us. That's an illusion. What gives you power? The people who create the choice, the options. It's not the person or God or nature putting these choices in front of you. You gain the power by choosing who you want to be. Choice is an illusion created between those with power and those without it. When you decide who you want to be first, the type of person that you want to be in this world, in this life, that's when you gain the power to be yourself. Much love.